On today's Throwback, we're having a look at the NECA Freddy vs. Jason Deluxe box set. This is all obviously a throwback. This was a throwback that I had done so long ago. This was probably one of my first horror figure. It wasn't my first, but it was certainly an older video. I did want to go back. I did want to reshoot the video. However, you will see that the box has not only been opened, but I got the figures all over the place. It's just a mess in there. I don't know if there was a party. Freddy's passed right out. Jason, I don't know what he's doing. He's using the window of the box to hold himself open, or hold himself up. On the side, however, we've got a picture of Freddy. We've got a picture of Jason. Actually, both as the figures, which is really nice. I also like the fact that this is an open window, so you can actually see both figures present, or in this case, fallen over. On the top, we've got Freddy versus Jason. On the side, we've got a picture of Freddy. The other side of the box, Jason. And then spin it around. Tip the camera up a bit. We've got the several features, like a removable mask. There's alternate heads for Freddy. Fully posable. I wouldn't say fully posable, but... And there's also a magnetic hand, which we'll get into in a second. It says figures can be posed separately, or bases can be joined together as shown. And I will actually do both. The original video I shot was two parts, so I figured I could do certainly a lot better than that. I also didn't get a chance to give them a rating the first time around, so I'm going to do that too. So this throwback will continue, my friends, as I get this opened up, and then we're going to have a better look at the NECA Freddy vs. Jason Deluxe box set. Interested? I hope so. Stay tuned. Now that we have the figures out of the package, let's have a better look at the figures. The one piece, or the one accessory that they come with, excluding alternate heads and weapons, we do get a Freddy vs. Jason little plaque stand. It doesn't peg into anything, it's just basically a hollow piece, but it will serve its purpose when we eventually get these two display stands put together. You will see that both figures are on their corresponding display stands. Both pieces are of the boarded floor of one of the cabins with the fire around the sides. Now the package indicates that you can have the figures independently standing on these sets, or you can put the two stands together. I can't figure out anybody who would not have these stands put together, but as you can see, there is that option if you do want them independently. I don't know what they're doing, but just kind of standing on these separate boards. You have the option as well. Why? I really don't know though. Having a look at one of the figures, let's first have a look at Freddy. It's not a bad Freddy. It's very different than I think most Freddy figures, and the fact that his costume is very different. His sweater, for one thing, is a much darker color. If we zoom into the camera, much darker than what you'd normally expect. The green and the red are also green and reds that we wouldn't normally see in a Freddy as well. It makes for, you almost get the fabric or the pattern of the sweater and coloring almost gets lost in the way that they've decided to color this. Also, something very interesting too is how light brown his pants are. Very interesting. Of course, Freddy's got his glove going on right there. The glove is all on a ball joint, so you can at least move the glove around. Nice long blades, I might add too. A little bit of caution. These could be fragile. You don't want to break them off or anything like that. And then that brings us to Freddy's face. Now you'll see Freddy's got his fedora on. You can take the fedora off if you so wish. You have to be careful though for one reason, and I'll get into that in a second. There's a bit of hair on there. We'll zoom into Freddy's face. One thing about the Freddy in the Freddy vs. Jason movie is the fact that the makeup was very predominant around the nose. I always found it interesting that Freddy's nose in Freddy vs. Jason was there was such an indentation going on there. You can still make out that he has lots of scarring. His teeth are decayed and discolored. Look at that one hair off there. Nobody needs to be looking at that through the whole review. It's not a bad face. It definitely is not a bad face at all. There was a lot of work put into the face of Freddy. On both sides there. The one problem I have with the head is the fact that he has an alternate head. And being that they made it so easy to swap the heads out, this head is prone to coming off itself. You'll see that there is just a very tiny peg connecting the spinal cord, or in this case the plug of the head, to the actual neck. It's not very deep at all, and what ends up happening is the head never sits on just right, and when you turn it, yes, it does come off quite easily. Why does it come off, you might add? Or you might ask this guy right here, this fella. The head does come off because also Freddy does have an alternate head. If I just reach over, you'll see the more disfigured demon head of Freddy. Now this is when Freddy was underwater, and the young boy Jason is saved by the girl, and Freddy gets really angry and comes out of the water, but he's got this really demonic demon face. A very neat looking face though. Same idea though, it's on this very small peg that you can plug into place. Doesn't sit very well though, but it serves its purpose. You could probably still put the fedora on if you want. I don't know if you really would need to, but it's there. It is there if you want. But that is Freddy. By the way, in the way of his articulation, being that he only has a pegged head, you can rotate it left and right, but you have to be careful that turning it too much, that head's not going to pop right off. He has a swivel in the shoulder, which is very hard to move. I can do it with the one arm there. He does also rotate in the elbow, and he has a ball joint in the wrist. Ironically, the only place that this figure has any ball joint is actually in his hand, which is unfortunate. The other hand only rotates. The glove is the only part of this figure that actually has a ball joint. There's also a swivel in the waist and a swivel in Freddy's shoes. Now, for those looking at this Freddy and you're thinking to yourself, that body I'm pretty sure has been used before. The Freddy body was also used before for the Fred Krueger a convention exclusive, which I will also do a throwback of as well. But it's not the best figure by Freddy, or of Freddy, but still, for the purpose it serves, and the purpose is more so a nice diorama piece. You're probably only going to look at Freddy sideways anyways. There has been worse Freddys. This particular Freddy I am going to give a 6-2. And overall a good sculpt. Just kind of wish he had had more articulation than just your standard swivels. By the way, this is also the only time this Freddy mold has been used, or aside from the Fred Krueger mold. This Freddy figure has never been re-released on its own. However, Jason has. Jason was repackaged as a standalone carded figure. Surprising that Freddy never got re-released. And it could also just be from the fact that they wanted to push the new Freddy licensed figures. They didn't want to bog down the aisles with older figures. But so a 6 for Freddy. A 6 for Freddy. I'm just going to put him to the back. He's going to be creeping up against Jason. Let's have a look at Jason here. And say what you want, I really did not like Jason in the movie. He was tall, yes, and I know that was the only reason why poor Kane Hodder could not reprise his role. But really, if they were going to do a fan service to this movie, Kane should have played Jason. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Jason should have been played by the master, Kane Hodder. The mask isn't bad. I like the mask. I like the fact that you can't see the eyes. You can if you look hard enough. But a pretty good sculpt on the mask. Jason in this movie is wearing several layers of tattered clothing. He's got himself a gray kind of shirt. Actually, he's got several shirts on, and then he's got this long jacket over top. The coloring of the jacket seems a little off to me. It should be a little darker, but you can see there's all these tattered marks. Jason has been wearing this jacket, from the looks of it, for a very long time. Jason's also got himself some, I guess, dark brown pants. going on there. And also, unfortunately, something that was very visible in the movie, Jason's got the Frankenstein monster shoes. I guess wanting to make him even bigger in the movie than what he really was. For those asking, the mask does come off, and unfortunately set your eyes to disappointment, because this is, excluding Friday the 13th Part 8, which I think is the worst Jason of all time, face-wise at least, this probably runs a close second. It kind of looks like a cross between Golem and, I don't know, Golem and The Thing, maybe if they had a child. This is what we have, essentially. It's the worst, one of the worst Jason faces. All the more reason, I think, to keep the mask on, if you ask this guy's opinion. The strapping on the mask, as with every other Jason mask, is very fragile, so be careful taking it off, putting it on, because what you might end up happening is that strap might end up breaking on you. For how ugly the face is anyways, I'm not inclined to take the mask off too often anyways. I'll probably just keep the mask right on. You can see all the nice detail work that they put on. There's even a little tuft of hair on the side there as well. Now, Jason doesn't have a glove, but he does have a machete. You can take the machete and put it into Jason's hand. One thing I don't like about the hand is, I guess it's not a bad thing, but the hand is just rubber. Makes for holding the machete very easily. Very easy. The hand also is prone to peg out or to unpeg for one reason. Maybe we'll get into that in a split second. Jason's articulation, he has the same swivel in the head, swivel in the arms, swivel in the forearms, swivel in the hands, swivel in the waist, and swivel in the boots. That's it. Unfortunately, again, it's a case of an older figure, so you're not going to get a ball-jointed arm or ball-jointed shoulder. But all things considered, it's still not that bad. Going back to the fact that he has a hand that keeps wanting to come out, Jason also does come with an alternate hand, which is this one right here. Now you'll notice it's open. We can put that in his hand. And why is it open? Well, for those who haven't seen the movie, I would say go check the movie out immediately before you finish watching the rest of this review. For those not interested and really don't care either way, there is a magnet on the hand that can also hold the third head of Freddy, which is this head right here. And it's a magnet, so Jason can easily hold it. It's not going to fall out unless you bang it like I just did. Now, it looks a little awkward the way Jason holds it because his arm is on this bent position, but we zoom in and we have a winking Freddy face, which of course leads to speculation. There's no way, if his daughter could kill Freddy with a stick of dynamite, decapitation would certainly kill a mortal or a human Freddy. The fact that Freddy's head winks at the very end of the movie, we can only speculate that Jason is now trapped in the dream world once again. Oh, I wish they had done another movie. Wish they had done a sequel to Freddy vs. Jason. It was rumored, just never happened. Anyways, we'll take the hand back out. I prefer it with the Jason holding the machete anyways. And basically, that's what you get. Now, going back to these two display stands, the display stands are nicely detailed. You can see that it's a boarded floor. And we got all the flames jetting out from the top there. You can have them independent, or as it would be suggested on the back of the package, or as what Spot's going to totally do, you can also connect the two. And then you can take Jason, pardon my arm, don't worry, it's washed, I've washed it. And you can take Freddy, we'll just peg him into place. And what you then get, I just turn this and make sure it's correct. That is not actually the correct way. It really should be turned around this way, if I'm not mistaken. You have then a Freddy vs. Jason display stand. This looks awesome. Then you can go back to the Freddy vs. Jason plaque. You can put that anywhere you want. You can put it in the front if you like. and you have something such as that. A really, really nice display piece. This is my opinion. This is the only way that you'd want to display this set, is by having Freddy and Jason sideways on the one display stand. Now you can't really appreciate the figures too much, being that you're only going to see the sides of them, but this is, in my honest opinion, this is the best way to display these figures. By the way, I didn't give Jason a rating here. I'm going to give Jason here, I'm going to give him a 6.5. He's not the worst of Jasons, but he's also not, in my personal opinion, one of the better ones either. Jason also was, as mentioned, re-released in a single carded version. Surprising, again, no Freddy. No Freddy. You can get Jason on his own, but I would say if you can find it and you can get it for a pretty good price, I would get the box set, so then you can get this whole display thing going. And with it going, it looks pretty good. Today's throwback, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Today's throwback, we were having a look at the NECA Freddy vs. Jason. That's Freddy, that's Jason. We were looking at the Freddy vs. Jason Deluxe box set. Let me know down below if you guys have picked this set up yourselves. You know what, even let me know down below how you guys have displayed this set. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.